February 2022, Quartzsite, Arizona.
Hi, this is Janet, and I'm Sly. Back in 2016, we both decided it was time to stop working, buy an RV, and start traveling the country and the world. And once the RV was pretty much the way we wanted it, we started our travels, and we've been doing it ever since. So join us as we explore this country and the world, and maybe we can even meet up with some of you along the way.
This is our second week at Quartzsite, and this is all about connecting with friends both new and old. Most of these folks are in RV parks right here around Quartzsite, but some actually traveled up here all the way from Yuma, and we are so grateful that they took a trip of that length just to say hello. It was great seeing all of them. At this point, we were pretty much done with the RV show at Quartzsite. Honestly, there wasn't that much there to look at, so this was more about just enjoying the company of our friends, having a few beers, and some burgers. When we weren't with our friends, we went out and did some hiking at the Kofa National Wildlife Refuge. This place is only about 15 miles or so south of Quartzsite. The road down into these canyons was smooth by the local standards, and honestly, any car could do it, no four-wheel required. Our first stop was a hike down into Palm Canyon. Even though we waited until almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the hike was cold because most of this canyon is in the shade, and it's not even all that warm in the sun, so I was not looking forward to hiking in the shade. The trail into this canyon was not very steep by our standards, but it was rocky and you did have to watch where you placed your feet. This canyon that we chose to hike is a box canyon. You can only go in so far before you hit the end. And according to some of the trail maps, the length of the hike isn't much more than 1.5 miles, 2 at the most, depending on how you choose to take it. The view in the canyon was really nice, and we took this hike at as close to noon as possible because we were told that this is the only time this canyon gets even a little bit of sunlight. We weren't in any kind of a hurry at all on this hike, so we took the time to stop and look around. Of course, the other reason we took this hike slowly was that I had developed a bit of a cold, and that just meant slow down and take it easy. And you might be able to tell that I'm not quite over my cold because my voice still sounds just a little bit off. And as I said before, well, the terrain was not that rugged, but there were a lot of very loose rocks all over the place, and footing you really had to be careful about as you walked down this trail. So anyway, why do they call this Palm Canyon? Well, it seems that this canyon is known for the palm trees that grow in some of the crevices up higher on the rim line. These palm trees are some of the few natural palm trees that grow in this area. And if you look up there between some of those peaks, you can actually see these palm trees growing. But they are far away, and I couldn't get a great picture. Oddly enough, and I don't know why, there are no palm trees growing in this canyon's floor. The only place you can find them is up high in the cracks and the crevasses of the cliffs of this canyon. Seems like an odd place for palm trees to grow. I did not expect to see them way up there. Well, anyway, I've seen palm trees before, but I've never seen them up high in cracks and crevasses like this, and that made for a good reason to go ahead and take this hike into the canyon. But even without those palm trees, to be honest, this was a nice hike, and it is well worth taking. You will not stress yourself out, it's not overly strenuous, and you can take it nice and slow and just relax and enjoy looking at the sights around you. We made it about 2/3 of the way up into this box canyon, but my cold didn't do me any good, and sucking in all of that cold wind certainly didn't do my throat any good. So, before I totally broke out in a massive coughing fit from the cold, we decided to look around one last time and slowly make our way back down to the car and start driving off down this dirt road to our next stop. Our next destination was a place called the Spiral Labyrinth, and it's only about 10-15 minutes down this dirt road. The Spiral Labyrinth is a feature of this area. It is a man-made spiral carved into the dirt by some industrious camper. This one was made to be a spiral, so you can start walking the outside and just keep on walking around and around and around, and eventually you will get to the inside. Oh, and when you get there, you may be just a little on the dizzy side. Unfortunately, when you make it all the way to the very center, you are rewarded with a pile of trash located dead center. That is unfortunate, because along with this trash, there's a bunch of other trash blowing around all over the place out here. There is a lot of campers out here, and it seems too many of them are just plain rude and decide to dump their trash before they leave. But anyway, along with that spiral, there are many other circles. This drive is taking us out to the Magic Circle. Now, the Magic Circle looks a lot like the spiral. However, the Magic Circle is located in an area that is frequented by nudists. So, you're not gonna get any pictures of the Magic Circle because YouTube might have something to say about those pictures. So we put our clothes on, we connected with some friends, and headed back up to the Desert Bar for one last drink with friends. It's one last drink because it's almost time for us to leave Quartzsite and make our way back up to Las Vegas. Our friends really enjoyed this bar. As you can tell, they're big dancers, and they enjoyed dancing up there while the band was just playing along. Oh, and one last time, just a plug for the Desert Bar. If you're out here, you really need to check it out. It is cool. With that, we said goodbye to our friends, and with only one more day left up here to explore, we headed on out into the desert to check out a mine. And this is the Gold Nugget Mine. Are you kidding me? It's just a beat-up old shack. Well, anyway, it's time to move on and just maybe do a little bit of hiking up in the mountains and the deserts of this area. Fortunately for us, this last day is a nice warm day with temperatures up near 70. So, at least we can get out there without having to wear heavy jackets. We came out here to see what was billed to be one of the biggest rallies in the country, and that was a disappointment. But hey, the hiking was good, the friends we met were great, and with that, our time here at Quartzsite comes to an end. And really, it's good, because we are ready to leave this area. I really could not recommend the Quartzsite rally. But really, that's my opinion. Other people seem to like it, and that's obvious because there were a lot of people out there. But it's not for me, and it's not for Janet, and we are ready to go on. But I hope you enjoyed the little bit of video that we were able to shoot, and as usual, if you look down in the description below, you will find a link to all the places that we found and visited. So it's time to fire up the old RV and move on, and hope that you'll all join us at our next stop.